Now back to last year, like around August. So where I was with my Chinese learning journey. So back then I want so my level was not basic actually. So I already achieved that basic level of Chinese, and I was
Yeah.
stuck basically
Mm.
because I wanted to get to a higher level, but I didn't know like how to do it first of all,
Mm.
and so I was feeling like stuck. I didn't know the method, the way to study, and how to get to that level that I wanted.
What had you been
And
trying until then?
yes,
What had you been trying until then to actually improve your Chinese? Like, what was causing you to be stuck, you feel?
so what caused me feeling stuck? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. And what had you
Uh,
tried already?
so what I tried already. So my study method at that time was on like a 10 class, right? A 10 class, study
Yeah.
Chinese like this and practice and speak. So in that time I learned Chinese for a year and then a class of like 20 students, and the teacher cannot really pay particular
Mm.
attention to you. So that was my study method. This is how I studied like my Chinese before. And but this was essential for basic, but to get to that level that I wanted, to fluency, to feel confident, to be confident, that method was not essential, was not the right method for me in particular. But probably there are other students, other people who achieve fluency and got confident in their Chinese using this classroom setting. But for me personally, it was not the right method.
It's not uncommon. And I would love for you if you could share about living in China as well, because a lot of people think they just need to go to China to learn Chinese. But why was that maybe not the case for you?
Sorry, could you repeat again the question?
Sorry, is it my microphone? Let me put it a bit closer. Um, a lot of people think that they just need to simply be in China to learn Chinese, for example. But just from your own experience, and also I've talked with a lot of people who think that's the case. But why is that maybe not the key to actually becoming like reaching your fluency goal? Like why is it simply being in China is not enough? Feel?
Yeah, definitely. Simply being in China is not enough because there are a lot of foreigners who are in China and also study Chinese. They don't get to that fluency level, and I
Hmm.
think so. Being in China is an advantage, but it's not a must. I would
Hmm.
say. But
Yeah.
what is like the must to achieve that level of fluency is first of all you have to know your why. Your, you have to define your why. Your reason for achieving fluency is if your why is
Hmm.
not strong enough, no matter like where the environment where you find yourself is, you will not be able to achieve your fluency. So if you are out of China, but your why is strong, the reason why you want to achieve fluency is strong enough to like to make you be disciplined and motivated to study Chinese. So I think it's very important. So first thing is your reason and your why. And second, I think one thing that is important is I would say it's confidence. You need to be confident to achieve
So
fluency because
okay.
in your journey of studying Chinese, it will not be not very it not will not be a smooth journey. I have to say, so you will face challenges and obstacles. So you have to be confident, like no matter like the challenges that you face, and to be confident and also like keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
And also the third thing I think it's essential
Okay.
is to create the environment yourself. So even like you outside of China, but the content that you consume, make sure that it's Chinese. What the videos that you watch, the music that you listen to, the movies that you watch. So like this, you can create that environment for you to
Mm,
immerse yourself in the in this like Chinese like environment.
that's awesome. Great recommendations. So how do you feel like actually, especially on the confidence one, like how do you feel right now? Like after, 5, 6, 7 months of training with us, like how has that changed?
The confidence. Now let me see how I was back then. So back then, I was not confident like to speak, uh, and even if I had like the opportunity to do it, I would just hold back and not do it, and that that prevented me like from even like trying and to although I had a goal, but because I was not even trying, my confidence was so low, and I was not even able like to give it a try. And so now I'd say it's a journey. My confidence, so my confidence in Chinese, it's a journey. And like for now, I'm more confident to to speak in Chinese. I participate in many activities where I have to introduce like my country. I have
Mm,
to do like different things in Chinese, like for long minutes to give presentation in Chinese. I'm way more confident to do that now.
wow.
And, and
Can you share like a specific example? Because I saw the win that you posted in our community.
uh,
Like that
yes,
was
yes.
like how was that and how did you feel doing that? Like
Uh,
that's incredible.
so so what you mentioned is an activity that I participated with my school in Yunnan province, where we went there to present our country, our country's culture, food, festival. So anything that is interesting about our country, we are like to go and present it to the kids and interact with them. It was very interesting because the enthusiasm that the kids showed to learn about other countries, it's just a motivation. It's just a motivation for me to talk about my own country, and seeing myself being able to do that in Chinese was very made me feel very proud, I have to say. And and I also look forward to doing even more, because I remember when I got into this program, my goal was to be able to tell my story in Chinese. So to be able to connect with people and tell my story in Chinese. So being able to talk about my country in Chinese was very important.
Wow. Yeah. And I think for a lot of people it is as well to express themselves. I think
Mm,
it's very inspiring, like for real, Jovens.
yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel like because I know we worked a lot on the mindset, like Jifei told me a lot. There was a lot of working on the
Mm.
pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Um, how do you feel like what specifically Jifei or like the team able to help you work on? Like what are some tools or some trainings that really helped you to make sure you could actually step up your trainings?
So Jaffe taught me something very important, and I think it's what she taught me. It's not only related to Chinese learning. It's something that I can apply in every aspect in my life, in everything that I'm doing. Actually, is like when you ask questions, like the way that you formulate the questions is very important. For example, if I want to um, if for example I want to give a presentation in Chinese and talk about my country, right? And I do it, but I don't do it well, for example, and uh, so I can like go back and reflect on that thing that happened, and it's like, how come I didn't do it well? And I start like blaming myself, right? So I can ask myself, why didn't I do it well? Why? But the question is like the better way to ask the question is, what can I do to achieve the thing that I want? Is like the how. When you ask yourself how you can like how you can do to achieve the thing that you want, the answer that you would automatically get like is like a better answer, is like the step-by-step answer is like, if I do 1 2 3 4, I will achieve this. But if you ask like why I didn't do it well, like you start like blaming yourself, the answers that you get is like, it's because you're not good enough, it's because like you will never do it, it's because this is not for you. So if you ask this kind of questions, the answers that you will get will always be like blameful questions. So it's better to ask how, better like than why,
Wow.
like when you face challenges. Yeah.
Like hats off. That's,
Yeah.
that's not something that most people learning Chinese they'll actually look for. They don't think, oh, I
Mm,
need to learn to ask better questions. That's how I become fluent in Chinese. They think I need to learn how to memorize and do stuff like that.
yes.
Everything. So I appreciate you sharing that a lot. And
Mm.
what in like concretely, I guess, if you have any examples, like what effects did that have on your Chinese fluency? You feel?
uh Concrete examples on how that affected my Chinese fluency, like the so what I just talked about, like the how, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Is that correct? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wondering how that,
Uh,
how learning that, like shifting your perspective, how did that influence like your progress with the level of fluency you're able to reach?
mm, so I have to think a little bit about this. Uh, mm,
Yeah, no problem.
how, like, so, but mm, I remember my last session with Jufei, and so this is like when we like deeply talk about this, but we also mentioned it at the beginning of like when I was starting this program, is like the how is, I remember like one thing that I so one thing is my goal, is right now is like to cultivate friendships in like with locals, right? To have friends, to have local friends. And so this is something that I'm struggling with, actually. Is so this is like when like she helped me to, because like I'm more of a, let's say, an introvert, right? And sometimes when I want to do it, but I always find all the excuses, and like say, I ask the wrong questions, like as like uh because I worry too much. But she also like helped me understand like the way to better do it, like the way to approach others, and probably like talk about hobbies and things that they are into, and like this I can find people who like who share the same hobbies, and how like if it's like possible I can like
Mm.
build friendship on this is like, because I'm like, as I said, like I'm an introvert person. I find like many excuses of like not to like approach others, because if you are learning a language, you need to interact with people. You need to cultivate friendships. I always find all the excuses that I can. But she asked me to think of the how to do it better than asking all like all the excuses possible. Actually, this is something that I'm currently working on, and every time I do it, like the results that I get. So, for example, when I approach like someone like randomly, like in my campus, and talk, the response that I
Mhm.
get is always like unexpected. Like it's always like. really friendly to talk to me, and also yeah. So this
You
is
could say,
something I'm quite keen on, and I intend like to keep doing it actually, and it's a
wow,
challenge for me, I have to say.
amazing, dude,
The approach
amazing.
is not
That's super cool. And so I think for you, what I see is at least is the biggest changes is like in your mindset and your habits and your approach to learn Chinese. So
yes, yes.
yeah, so congrats for yeah getting unstuck and putting in the work because it's not always the easiest, right? Like you said, it's pretty uncomfortable sometimes. So just like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, massive congrats. My last question is then basically, yeah, I guess considering someone who might want to join like this program, but they also have their hesitations and yeah, like you need to just think about it a little bit. But what would you tell them? Like if they had that same hesitation, but they were also stuck, like what would you tell that person who wasn't sure but who wanted?
Mm, so if I have to say, actually, yeah, I would say two things actually. First thing is like you're feeling stuff, right? You want to get to that fluency. First thing you have to do uh is before yeah you're considering getting into this program, you have to know your reason of doing it. You have to define this, and is you can consider like two different scenarios, like you not taking action, not getting into the program that can help you to get to that goal that you have, not doing it, and like who you would be like, and you getting into the program and being like more confident, not only confident but being on the path that can help you achieve that goal that you have. And so which scenario you would prefer if you think uh, getting into a program that can help guide you to the goal that you want, you think that would be the best scenario. So I would advise you to do it. And second thing you have to know, this is just like the program is a program to guide you. It's not the like once you finish the program is the end of your Chinese learning journey. It's someone that can it's something that can help you shift your mindset, the way that you study Chinese, the way that you approach Chinese, your mindset. And it's something that can like help you like change that mindset, as I said, and to help you continue your journey on learning Chinese. Like for me personally, it's like my Chinese learning journey is not done actually. It just I can say that it has just started. It's just a new beginning, and I like look forward to implementing all that I learned and keep improving my Chinese and keep telling my stories.
Amazing, man. Anything else that you would like to highlight from the last 6 7 months that hasn't been mentioned?
Uh, so one thing I'd like to highlight is no when I my program was like almost a year, right? And it was supposed to be 6 months. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, like 5 or 6 months. Yeah,
Yeah, 5 or 6 months, but it was longer. Um, so when you study Chinese, or like sometimes there's like up and down, right? So you have to acknowledge this, like there are ups and downs. So I just acknowledge like the up and downs, and just keep going. Even like during this program, sometimes my motivation I had like high motivation, sometimes my motivation was not that high. But like no matter what, I finish the program, and I keep learning Chinese. I keep going forward, and so Chinese is part of my daily routine now.
that's awesome. Super cool.